Hey, what's going on, peoples? It's we the peoples, and I also have a guest with me today, and we are here to talk about, as you guys see in the video title, we are going to be reacting to Legends of Runeterra 2023 competitive structure explained. I believe I literally just forgot who the person that posted this. It's the Runeterra report. They're actually more, I want to say they're super new, but they're basically a Twitter account that kind of like updates us about any Runeterra news. And they just recently made a YouTube, so I will leave their links in the description because you know they have as many subs as me, and that gotta be wrong. Let's be honest, they should have like quadruple my subs at this point. So if you guys want to watch the direct video, I will leave it in the links down below. But also I literally just glossed over introducing our guest. What's going on? How you doing, Elite?
What's up? My name is Isaiah. I go by IDCxElite on Runeterra and Twitch. I am one of the newer casters for the Mystic Shot tournament, and I also myself host tournaments with my friends. So feel free to catch us on Twitch later this week. Actually, we're gonna have one Friday. So peoples, let's get into it. I gotta see what the structure looks like now.
Yo, I'm honestly super hyped. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I wish this was my first impressions, but I was way too hyped to honestly just like check it out.
Y'all gonna get mine. I was
way too hyped. I'm sorry guys. I have Twitter. I looked at Twitter. Let's be honest, everything's on Twitter. The moment you open Twitter, you already see the spoilers. So I had to watch it. I had to watch a little bit. But afterwards, we are gonna be reading. There's like a little excerpt, I guess you could say, of basically them talking about, like, them going more in depth about what they're actually like gonna be doing, especially for the grassroots tournaments, because they're actually gonna be implementing a system that like allows for basically it makes grassroots tournaments a little bit more important. So we're going to be going over that a little bit after we go over the video. The video is only, I believe, 4 minutes, so it's not that long. But let's get into the video. Yo, you ready, Elite? Are you ready?
Listen. You said some keywords, and now I'm like, did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, it's hype. It's definitely hype.
All right, come on. What we got?
Yesterday, we broke down the Legends of Runeterra expansion and balance patch cycles for this year. Today, we're going to expand upon this information and add the competitive notes which weren't included. Before we go and explain the timeline, please note that this particular timeline won't start until after the beta season has ended. Currently, we expect the beta season to end at the start of the next expansion, which is currently scheduled to be released in April. But during this beta season, there will be beta tournaments still available. However, no Runeterra points can be acquired during this time. Similar to...
Right, so I'm gonna pause it right there because I think he said a lot of information just now, right?
That was a lot. No, they got delayed all the way until April. Wow.
Yes.
It was supposed to be this week that the expansion got.
So expansion confirmed is not coming out until April. Next expansion is not coming out until April. So basically everything that was supposed to come out, I believe, like either this week or mid-February, it literally got completely pushed back. So I believe we're supposed to be, well, he's gonna go into it, but I believe we're supposed to be getting like, I think we already got a balance patch, and then we're gonna go into the beta, which is again what he's gonna talk about, what exactly that is. He said, which I agree, it's a lot easier to talk about what the beta season actually is on more of a timeline than just saying like, oh, this is what it is. Like, I kind of agree with the way he put it. Bye.
The video yesterday, it's best to visualize the information on a timeline. We start with the new expansion. These expansions bring new champions as well as new mechanics to the game. They should also bring a new metagame for the competitive players to solve before the first tournament. 2 weeks after the release of the expansion, the first Runeterra Open will take place and will allow players to earn Runeterra points, trophies and titles during their battles. We will cover these prizes later in the video. Runeterra Opens are now your substitutes to the seasonal tournaments we currently have. As the name suggests, Runeterra Opens are available to everyone, no matter their rank, as there is no qualifying criteria. However, only the top players will progress onto the second day of the tournament and will have a chance to win the top prizes. Regarding the prize pool, there has been no official comment of what the 2023 prize pool for Runeterra Opens will be, but we expect to know more information before the first Open begins. 2 weeks after the first Runeterra Open, players will then receive the first balance patch of the tournament season. 2 weeks after the balance patch, players will then experience their first World Qualifier Open. These Opens are a little different than the normal Runeterra Opens, as the winners of these tournaments will qualify for the Worlds at the end of the year. You will also earn the same rewards as the normal Runeterra Opens. 2 weeks after the World Qualifier Opens, players will experience the Variety Balance Patch, which will include the expected balance patch, as well as a set of new cards. You should use the term as a mini set or a booster pack. However, we expect these variance balance patches to be similar to the patches that we've had in the past, with patches 3.4 and 3.6 being a good guess of what we can expect for in the future. After the release of new cards in the Variety Patch, players will then experience the last Runeterra Open of the tournament season. This will be their last chance to earn Runeterra points, trophies, and titles before the end of the season. With the end of this Open, players will then have to wait until the next expansion to start the cycle all over again.
Sorry, he again. I know it's a lot to digest, but pretty much, like, I know the seasons have been very, like, I won't say they've been disorganized, but they kind of been like all over the place because you kind of don't know where to put all your energy in, because it's like you want to prep for seasonals, right? But then ladder's important. Basically, now they've kind of established a way for you to be able to put all your energy into one basket. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, no, I would agree, because let me think it through. You don't have to climb anymore. You don't have to reach a certain pinnacle. If everything is open to all players, no matter what rank you are, no matter what skill level, even if, let's say, you are low skill level, you can attempt to attain enough Runeterra points to qualify for something. Now, I do have a question. I'm wondering if these points are transferable. It definitely does seem like throughout the year that yes, you're collecting these points for the year, but I wonder if they'll like transfer to the next year or not. I want to say they probably will not. If it's probably just for that year, it's only up until whatever worlds that we're gonna be having.
Probably. Yeah.
But other than that, I like this idea, because now okay, for sure we got the Runeterra Open here. This is where I'm gonna be putting all my eggs are gonna go into this basket. I don't need to climb and be like a top 600 player on ranked. I don't have to devote all my time to rank, especially a rank that might be not as polished in terms of what decks are being played.
Yes.
Right? You have people that are playing mean decks, just testing some decks of their own that they may have come across. You don't really know what you're going to be fighting. But let's say something like a Runeterra Open where it might maybe shift into more something that looks like a meta.
Yeah, I think what, and this is just my personal opinion, especially somebody that runs a lot of tournaments, like what we see on ladder is always, and I say this all the time, it's always different from what we see in tournaments. Always. It is always different. Like, unless the deck is like completely just busted, like Aatrox, obviously.
Red Gwen.
Yeah, or Red Gwen. Like, there are certain decks that obviously you either have in mind or you play them, right? But most of the time, the same decks that you see on ladder are not the same decks that people are playing in tournaments, like almost ever. And those same or those same decks, they don't do well because they just get countered. Because at the end of the day, every deck can get countered. So I think that this is good for the game. Honestly, I think this is really good for the game.
Yeah, most definitely.
Runeterra points are now the combination of seasonal and ladder points. Players will earn these Runeterra points throughout the year, and they can be used to qualify for Worlds. Players can earn Runeterra points through the following areas: the Runeterra Opens, the World Qualifier Opens, ladder, and grassroot tournaments. It's important to note that the World Qualifier Opens will grant more Runeterra points than the usual Runeterra Opens. To qualify for Worlds with Runeterra points, you either have to be one of the top finishers of a tournament season, or be one of the yearly leaders of the Runeterra points. Trophies are the new currency for the season reward track. You will earn trophies for competing in tournaments such as the Daily Rumbles and the Runeterra Opens. In the reward track, players can earn season badges, prime glories for Runeterra Opens, as well as titles. Titles are the new way to display your mastery and prestige in Runeterra. When you have a title equipped, loading into a game of Runeterra will display your title to the opponents. An example of a title is Divine Flame, which can only be earned for being in the top 100 of the beta season ranks ladder. Having this exclusive title will let your opponents know that you were one of the top 100 players during this competitive beta season. Daily Rumbles are the new version of Gauntlets. They will open from 4 PM until 2 AM each day and will allow players one chance every day to participate in a tournament to earn trophies to progress their season reward track. If you win all 6 games in a Daily Rumble, you will earn 10 trophies and a title. These Daily Rumbles will have different formats throughout the tournament season and will give all players a chance to earn more trophies than just through the Runeterra Opens. Similar to the currently known Last Chance Gauntlets, we will be getting Last Chance qualifiers before Worlds, which will allow players to qualify for Worlds if they are struggling to qualify through other means. In conclusion, we will be receiving more tournaments throughout 2023, and receiving expansions and balance changes between each one. This should make each tournament feel slightly different due to the ever-changing environment. There's a few more pieces of information that cover grassroots tournament support, tournament creation tools, and cross-shard competitions. However, to read this information, head to the top link in the description, which will take you to the official Riot Games article. That's all for this competitive breakdown video. I hope that it helps paint an image of what you can expect lore to look like over the next year. Thanks for watching.
So you're telling me if I wanted to run a tournament, I could contact Riot, whatever the case may be, and they're like, here are the tools, go crazy.
I mean, it's getting to that point now.
That's actually kind of so dope.
It's getting to that point.
How do you? Oh man, there's like a logistical thing that I'm like really curious about, because let's say you have, let's say that there's 3 grassroots, like consistent grassroots tournaments, right, that are always having it every week. Would each one count for every week? And we have to like keep track of those points and all that stuff. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go through this. I have questions. Okay, I really gotta see it done now. I have to see how they go about it.
I mean, we also have to remember, right? It's like we're gonna be in the beta, right? So everything right now during the beta isn't gonna count towards anything. So basically what I'm trying to say is like nothing is set in stone, like 100%, because technically we're in the beta. But the simple fact that they even are thinking about throwing grassroots tournaments in there to get Runeterra points, I can almost cry myself to sleep.
That's crazy.
I'm like, hey, yo, I you know what? Hey, Riot is listening. Hey.
Like, I'm wondering, like, because then at that point, like, how many tournaments are gonna like start popping up, right? Because like we obviously, like a lot. Because I mean, you might have some that are just like for states, for regions, whatever the case may be. Because as of right now, I know about maybe 3 or 4 that are consistent. LOR, Saturday, Mystic Shot. I think there's
definitely a few. There's
a few already.
But if the biggest issue with LOR tournaments right now, in my personal opinion, is not money. Because I mean, if let's say like the Master Runeterra tournament, right? You like 10K is obviously gonna bring people in, right?
Yes.
Like people are gonna want to play in a 10K if they know they could win mad money. But the issue is that it has no implication in your Legends of Runeterra like status. Like you're playing in their tournament, but you're not gaining anything for Runeterra. You're only gaining money. Like, of course, obviously, of course, money is nice. Like, I'm not sitting here saying 10K.
Yeah, of course.
But the issue is that you play in these tournaments, you use a lot of your time to prep, to create lineups, and you don't necessarily gain anything other than experience and money from these tournaments. And that sucks. Because you're literally all that time. Like, let's be honest, that time that you're putting into playing in a tournament, you could just be going on ladder and laddering instead. Because I mean, before that was the only way to get some kind of advantage in tournaments.
Yeah.
When it comes to seasonal, was having a high ladder, having a high ladder seat, and then being able to get the 7-2 seeding, which is basically like you have a chance to go 7-2, and basically you can be able to get a free, not really necessarily a free loss, but it's more or less like so say for instance, if I'm 59 on ladder and you're 69 and we both go 72, I'm gonna get that seat because I'm higher in ladder than you are. So that you know, it's basically like it's more or less on a spectrum of like who can work the hardest and get the most ladder points kind of thing, rather than who's actually better at the game, in my personal opinion. Because it's more about how much time. It's more about how much time you can put into the game, rather than are you actually good at the game.
Yeah, I can see that. And then now with the setup that they're thinking about doing, it's now there's, first off, every tournament has weight.
Yes.
Everything, with grassroots or not, it has weight. Like this is now, you're working towards something, and that something is gonna be worlds. Right, and you no longer have to, let me just go on ladder, let me just join a tournament because I want to get some practice. No, there's now the incentive behind actually joining it, aside from, just the trophy, just the reward, just the title, just the money. Now it's like, okay, if I'm really doing good in all these tournaments, I'm gonna get it all the way to the very end.
Yep.
And it seems like, if I'm not mistaken, right, it doesn't seem like it's based off your positioning
in ladder anymore.
And like it's not really off a ladder. It's just, okay, do you have the points?
Yep.
Let's say we're choosing 30 players for worlds, be in the top 30 in terms of Runeterra points, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's pretty much what it seems like. It seems like it's not based off of ladder anymore. Like, ladder still, I mean, we can go